When was the last time I showered? Want to take a guess? You know what self-talk is? Negative self-talk. It governs everything. It's kind of like a rudder. Sometimes you say things to yourself that are not true. They're just plain wrong. Hello again. Welcome to my office, aka my closet. It's Wednesday night, 2 a.m. I don't know what it's going to take for me to do this, and at the very least take the Unisom at a reasonable time, because taking it at 2 a.m. is a little nuts. So, in fact, I have to get up in 4. Okay, it is what? 2 o'clock? It's 1:43 a.m. And I actually have to get up at 6:30, which is 4.5 hours-ish. And then, what did I say again? 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. Yeah, it's not a good idea to take the Unisom right now, because after I drop my son off at school, I have to hit the expressway. So I have the sense that these videos are like on repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. And I keep bitching and saying the same shit over and over because nothing has changed. I mean, what else am I going to talk about, right? I'm telling myself, you know what self-talk is? Negative self-talk. It governs everything. It doesn't govern everything. It's kind of like a rudder. Okay? The self-talk, and it doesn't have to be always negative. There's positive self-talk also. And there's just self-talk that affects how you perceive the world, and it affects the decisions that you make in your life, right? So it's like the rudder of a boat. It kind of moves, changes your direction. Right now, the self-talk I'm having is, I'm pretty sure I've said this like 20 other times. Who the hell is going to want to hear this? Why am I wasting my time saying this crap again? It's a waste of my time. I'm an idiot. I'm making a fool of myself. That's what I'm telling myself right now. I have to combat that. I can't let it take over. Is it true? Whenever you say something to yourself that really brings you, especially if it brings you down and it just destroys your mood, you got to ask yourself 3 questions. You ask yourself, is it true? If you can prove that thing that you said to yourself, the negative self-talk, is not true, then that's it. There's nothing else left for you to do, because you know it's not true. It doesn't have a place in your head anymore. It's you can squash it, right? You can make it shut up. If it is true, is there anything I can do to change that? Yes, no. If yes, then at least you have a course of action, right? If the answer is no, then the 3rd question is, am I able to move forward with my life despite the fact that thing is true, the thing that's bringing me down? If you can't change it, the answer is no, you can't change it, and it's true. Can you figure out a way to move on despite that factoid? Those are the 3 questions. I didn't come up with that. That was part of a book called Solve for Happy by Mo Gaudet. Look it up. What I was actually saying to myself just then is, you are making a fool of yourself. You have said the same shit 15, 20 times. Even you are sick and tired of listening to it. Why would anyone else want to listen to it? Okay. Can I, maybe I should pick one of those at a time? You have said the same thing 20 times. Okay, first of all, what the hell did I just say right now that I think I said 20 times? When I said, I don't know what's it going to take for me to actually take these pills at the right time of day. Have I actually said it 20 times? Maybe. Okay, let's say that's true. I did say it 20 times. Can I change that? I think I have the tools available to me to change that. I do have the tools. Do I have the will? I really don't know. I don't want to be on my deathbed going, oh, I wish I had organized my life. It's probably not what's going to come across my head, but it might not be the thing that goes through my mind, but it has been the struggle of my life. So sometimes you say things to yourself that are not true. They're just plain wrong. And we are not aware enough to catch those things as we are repeating them to ourselves. Because, you can say 5, 6 things to yourself in the span of a couple of minutes, and it's hard for you to remember what's the one thing that I just said to myself that is brought my mood down so much just now. And sometimes there are these just feelings and thoughts that are hard to capture. So if you're not aware when it's happening, it's kind of hard to catch it. But if you are aware, you can catch the one sentence, the one belief that you said to yourself. I went through an exercise last year, and it's not an exercise that a therapist or anybody, gave me as homework to do or anything. I was having these episodes of really bad depression where I would just lay in bed. I could not do anything. And I was just beating myself up. But don't we all? Isn't that how depression works? You hear, you have these things that you're saying to yourself repeatedly, sometimes on a loop. Sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're not. And you just keep saying it to yourself over and over and over again, and suddenly you have zero energy. All you can do is lay there, watch some movie on repeat, and eat. You neglect everything. You forget to feed the animals. You don't, you may come up with some excuse for your kids why you can't go to the movies this weekend, and you might cry, maybe you don't cry, but you just feel like ass. And so that was happening to me like every other week. And it was becoming so frequent that I even came up with a rule for myself, that I would give myself a couple of days to just wallow in the misery without beating myself up over it, because that just makes everything worse. And I had a habit of beating myself up over it every time, and that just made it worse. But this shit was happening to me so often, with, such regularity, that I had to make rules for myself like this. And it was around that time when I started that bullet journal and I started writing down. I had two sides. It was a spread. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. And every time I had a bad thought, I'd write it down. I'm not sure I did anything with those. I just wrote them down. It was rare that I had a good thought. Because, there were days when I was, pumped up, if I had a good night's sleep, took my Vyvanse. Vyvanse is like a great mood booster, right? And you just feel good. For no particular reason, you just feel freaking good. And so if I had any good thoughts, I'd write them down. But you know what I found out? I realized that on the days when I felt really good about myself and I just had this outlook on life, there was no obstacles between me and all the possibilities. I had zero thoughts in my head. No thoughts. The only thoughts were, I could do that next year. I can tackle that. I want to do that. It was all about what I want to do and what the possibilities are. And I didn't have to have those thoughts to feel good. I can do anything. Sure, I could have that thought, but it wasn't a prerequisite. It wasn't a requirement for feeling good. Most of the time, my head was just silent. But when I felt bad, lots of clutter, lots of talk, lots of self-talk, lots of self-talk. So that was the difference between the two. And I wrote it down. When the right side of the page was full, I actually went down and said, is this true? No. Is that true? Nope. That true? Nope. That true? No. I did this before I started seeing a therapist. Because, I've seen therapists before, but it had been a while since I got a new therapist. So I got a new therapist. The new therapist was, I think I started talking to her in 2022. I have stopped seeing her in the last few months. And there's a reason for that. I'll get to that at some point. But when I started talking to her, I told her about this thing that I did with the journal. You know what the result of doing this was? All of these negative things I was telling myself, which were on repeat for weeks, probably years. A lot of them were really loud. I'm not saying that I hear actual voices or anything like that. I'm just, your negative self-talk, really loud. Maybe since 2021-ish, they got really loud and very self-deprecating. And this cycle of me going into this depression every couple of weeks, at least once a month. And at one point it was almost every single week or every other week. I had to do something. So that's when I started doing the thing with the journal. I had to write these things down. And I have to go look at the book again because I don't remember what all of them were. I don't remember if they all ended up being not true or if there were some that were true. I don't remember the details on all of them. But as soon as I started going down one by one and disproving them or rebutting them, that little voice that was telling me whatever it was that little sentence was, silence. I stopped hearing it in my head. I stopped saying it to myself because I'm a pretty analytical person. If I know something's not true, I can't sit there and tell myself and convince myself that it's true. I just know that it's not true. And so if there were some that I rebutted or disproved, and if that voice was still, if I was still telling myself that, that just means that I did not really convince myself that it wasn't true. And I'd have to go back and revisit it. But eventually those negative statements that I make to myself quieted down considerably. And they were quieted down by using that method. I had to write it down though. I couldn't just sit there and say, oh, what did I just say to myself? Okay, is it true or is it not true? I had to write the thing down because I couldn't, there were too many of them. There were probably 50 things I was telling myself, to knock myself down, and I had to write them down because I have to look at them. I had to see them. I had to give them form. It couldn't just be something floating around in my head. So that's what I did. And it worked. So just now I was telling myself something and I had to stop and ask myself, did I say it 20 times? Do I look like a fool? Do I look like a fool to anyone right now? I guess, you know what? I would probably look like a fool if I stick with this vlog idea and I'm posting videos, posting, and I get 0 views, 0 subs, but I'm not getting the hint. It's 2 years, putting I don't know how many hundreds of videos up, and I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? Please like and subscribe. Then yeah, I think I look like an idiot. But am I there yet? And you know what? I think the important thing for me is to know what I'm getting out of it. If I get likes, comments, all of this shit, it means that I touched something in someone else, and that I'm not alone in the world. And you know what I've been looking for, what I have wanted to find on YouTube. And like I said before, I watch a crap ton of YouTube. I think YouTube is amazing. I'm getting a little disheartened by the number of really polished YouTubers that have staff and their videos look like something out of a movie set. You know what I mean? Sure, some of them are really entertaining to watch, but come on, where are the other people like me out there? I'm just dying to find someone like me who has, I don't know, a couple hundred subscribers, couple thousands. They're not too big. It hasn't gone to their head yet. And it's like me. Just somebody sitting in a freaking closet with dirty clothes all over the place. My place is not immaculate. I'm not going to pretend that I live in a house that looks like it's, ready for, I don't know, what's that magazine? My house doesn't look like it's ready for any kind of magazine shoot. It's a house that people live in. We have clutter. We have dirt. We have animals. We have kitty litter. We have birds. We have mess. I want to see someone else that lives in a house like I live. I haven't been able to find that. And maybe it's out there someplace, but when you do a search on YouTube, they don't give you those channels. I'm dying to find those. So far, it seems like they don't exist. If they do exist, then I guess I'm never going to find them. But I've been dying to find people like me. And so part of the reason I'm doing this is because if I can't find people like me, then maybe I should put me out there. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see me. I want to see other people like me. And maybe there's a shit ton of other people out there who would love to do it, but they feel intimidated because everybody's house looks immaculate. Everything sparkles. Everything's white, clean, perfect lighting. That's not life. That's not reality. This is reality. I got my son's underwear over here, dirty clothes. I don't know how many videos I've been wearing this same shirt. When was the last time I showered? Want to take a guess? If anybody goes on YouTube and says, sometimes I don't shower for 2 or 3 days, I don't believe them. If you are not embarrassed enough to not disclose that information to the world, that you have gone 3 days without showering, then you're lying about your 3 days. Chances are you're lying about your 3 days. I don't want to call anybody a liar, but chances are you have gone a bit more than 3 days without showering. I don't remember when the last time I showered was. Sometime between today and tomorrow, I'm going to look through the videos and see which one I had this shirt on. Remember this shirt? Remember this shirt? Before this shirt, there was this shirt. Remember this loud, ugly thing? I think I might burn in the fire because I hate it. It was this shirt. Before this shirt, there was another one. I don't remember which one it was. But there might have been, that's 3 shirts now. This is number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There might have been a 5th, but I don't remember. Can't think that far back. At least 4 shirts that I have changed out. Not because I showered. I didn't shower at all. I just changed them out. And I wore the shirt at least 2 days in a row before I changed them out. So I probably have gone maybe 10 days. Yeah, I'll go with that. It could have been 2 weeks without showering. You know what that has done to my skin? My face has been breaking out with this eczema. I've been getting scabs all around here. Tiny scabs, I can feel them. All the little bumps with my fingers. And I scratched them off. I made my face bleed earlier today. Not showering has also, unfortunately, included not washing my face. I have washed my face more often than I've showered. I washed my face today. I probably washed my face 3 days ago. When it gets really, really bad, I wash my face. If I'm going to go out somewhere, if I'm going to go out shopping, if there's like a parent-teacher conference, if there's a school play, if I have to take the car to the mechanic, if I have to go to a restaurant for a meal, I will shower. But if all I'm doing is staying here and getting in the car to drop off my son and pick up my son and drop off my son and pick up my son, I have not showered. So I have to think back to the last time that I went somewhere. I think it was when we went to the movies. That was when I showered. Yeah, I think that's when I showered. It's pretty sad. I have been, in the past, I have been more embarrassed by it. But I think I'm done being embarrassed because I'm realizing that this isn't just a me thing. This is something that is pretty common among people who have the same issues I do right now. And that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there. People just don't want to talk about it. People want to talk, they don't want to admit it, that they go days and days and days and days without showering. But they're going days and days without showering. You know, some people are luckier than others. Some people have a significant other who, like a woman that she had a story, she suffers from anxiety, and she's a celebrity. She suffers from anxiety, and if she goes 2-3 days without showering, and she hasn't gotten out of bed yet, her husband will go in the bathroom, turn on the shower, and tell her, go take a shower. He doesn't degrade her, put her down, as far as I know. And if you have a significant other, if you're lucky enough to have somebody who can nudge you gently and help you, support you, and you're a lucky person, hang on to that person. But if, like me, you're alone right now, and the only person you have is yourself, or even worse, so your significant other does nothing to help you and just does the opposite, puts you down, makes you feel like something's wrong with you, makes you grow a sense of shame for not having showered. Because we're not showering because we are pigs and we like the smell of our own stench and I love to wallow in my own nasty underwear. Hell no. That's not why it happens. When I go shower and I get clean, I feel good. When anybody goes shower and gets clean, feel good. But why don't you do it? That is the $20 million question. And the answer to that is so complicated and so out of our hands. I actually don't want to say that it's so out of our hands. But it is powered by something that is really hard to fight against. It's not just a matter of pick up the trash. No, in your mind, there's all of these things working against you. And being degraded by someone because you haven't showered in a few days, or even worse, I think it's just as bad if you have a significant other who doesn't say anything, doesn't ask you a question, doesn't ask you if you're all right, doesn't just say, honey, you know I'm saying this with all the love in the world. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but do you think maybe you should jump in the shower? I'll go with you. Oh my God. Tears to just have that. And you don't have to say it like that. They don't have to say it like that. They could say it, there's like 10 million different ways of saying it that isn't ignoring you, ignoring the problem, pretending it doesn't exist, not even asking you, are you all right? Just ignoring you. Or B, making you feel bad for it. I think I've gone 2 weeks without showering. Now, my daughter has an appointment. I have to take her to tomorrow. There's no way I'm stepping foot at the medical office and taking her to her appointment like this. No way. Because it's not just that I probably stink. I'm sure I probably do. I don't know. I don't smell it. And I'm fairly certain that if my children smelled it, they would say something. They don't. They haven't. And, I don't have a significant other right now. I don't have anybody snuggling up against me or anything to sniff or smell anything. Now, when my breath stinks, my son tells me right at me, no shame. He'll just look at me and say, God, that you stink. Thank you. I like the honesty that he has. I really appreciate it. I'm not saying that with any amount of sarcasm. I really do. And it's not just a matter of smell or sweat. It's my skin. My skin is breaking down. From the neck up, my face, I have scabs all along here. I've broken the skin all along here. I had 2 big red things over here the other day. They have since healed. And my scalp. I have scabs in my scalp. And the scabs come from, I really don't know why the scabs happen. I think it might be a combination of when I scratch and my nails. But, if my hair was clean, I could scratch all day long. I don't get scabs. I think the scabs come from the skin is just breaking down because it probably can't breathe. There's like, who knows how many layers of oils are up there. And so there are some spots where I actually have scabs. So, and especially around here. Around here, I got scabs all along here. And it's not psoriasis. It's just my skin breaking down. So I'm doing harm to myself by not showering. I guess it is a form of self-harm, isn't it? This thought has never hit me before. Until now. It is a form of self-harm to not shower, especially if you know that your skin is suffering for it. This thing with my face has been going on for at least 10 days. So wouldn't it have been enough to, make me jump in the shower? It hasn't been. This is a form of avoiding reality, I think. Hiding. It's a way of hiding. This thing has been going on for 45 minutes, and I haven't even talked about how I did not sleep last night. I did not sleep all day. And so far, let's see, it is now 2:30 in the morning. I have to get up in 4 hours. Chances are I probably won't sleep tonight either. Yeah, I think I won't. I might not. But the one thing I am going to do, however, is strip. Not in front of the camera, obviously. I'm going to strip, throw myself in the shower, and I'm going to soak, wash my hair as well as I can, wash everything as good as I can, and then come back and do it all again tomorrow after the appointment. Oh, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting any sleep right now. I sure hope I didn't take that Vyvanse. No, but I'm going to have to take the Vyvanse in 4 hours. I'm going to have to take it in 4 hours. I got to make sure I don't sleep during the day. If I was like really, really, really tired right now, I would try to get a couple hours of sleep at least. But I don't think I can do that. Like, I'm not wound down here. I'm not wound down. So I have gone now, what? Same as last time. A good 36 hours without sleep. And I have to hit the expressway. It's like a 40-minute drive to get there, 40-minute drive to get back. Anyway, I didn't really intend to say all that shit, but it's important. Because it happened in the moment, it's important. Yeah, I'm going to find out exactly how many days it was. Right now, I feel very hot, sweaty, not fresh. I honestly don't think I smell like BO because I haven't done any activities that make me sweat. I just feel like body. I don't know. I feel like somebody who did a bit of sweating after showering this morning. Go out, do some sweating. That's how I think I smell. You know, I know it has changed with age, but when I was much younger, I just did not have BO at all. But I'm pretty sure that with my age, like adulthood and whatever, that has changed somewhat. As long as you get the deodorant on, you're good. If you forget the deodorant, forget it. You won't last 12 hours. Same goes for me. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go shower now. I might pop back in here and say something after taking the shower just to see what comes out of my mouth. I might have an epiphany. Feel like I have angel wings growing out my back or some shit. But the battery's about to die, so I'm gonna shut it off here and maybe pop in for like a 30-second blurb afterwards. Alright. Later. Alright, I don't have a lot of time. I'm a bit out of breath because I just got out of the shower. And taking a shower like the one I just had, it's like running a marathon. I'm not even fully dressed yet. I want to go collapse on my bed. The one part of the body that always gets neglected during my showers are my feet. So anyway, how do I feel? Clean? I really should be scrubbing my feet right now, but I'm tired. So let's see, what time is it right now? 3:04 a.m. Anyway, I think this is going to be the end of today's video. And I'm going to go air dry on my bed. All right, till next time. Bye-bye.